Tonight, Christina Carswell hosts an all-new episode of The Lounge. The following program may contain mature material some viewers may not find suitable. Viewer discretion is advised.
It's The Lounge with Christina Carswell. Tonight, Christina welcomes Alex, also known as Axel, from the channel Swathed, Sarah from the channel Lyra Kylarin, and Sean, a professional QA video game tester. And now, here's your host, Christina Carswell.
Hey everyone, welcome back to The Lounge. I am Christina. I am here with my lovely co-stars, Axel.
Yo.
Sarah.
Yo.
And Sean.
I know, yo.
If Sean never speaks. There we go. Okay, so today is going to be a little bit more of a personal show. We're going to get down and dirty. We're going to get down and dirty with our personal lives a little bit.
Ooh, how down and dirty? Like collars and handcuffs?
Let's not get that down and dirty. That's going in the complete opposite direction I was going to take this, but okay.
Who put these restraints on my chair? Why are my arms and legs tied down? What's going on?
You're not forced to do this.
Case of emotion.
More like that one. More like that one.
Welcome to cripplingly depressed grumps.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about something that had happened to me this past weekend. It's pretty serious. I'm going to leave out names just so people don't go on a fucking
Call
witch
everyone
hunt.
Steve.
Steve. Okay.
Steve and Stevette.
Steven, Stevette, Stevenson.
Well, yeah, you can throw in a Dave.
Okay. Dave, Daryl. Okay.
John.
So this person, Steve, I had found out from Dave had been going behind my back and lying to me. Okay. And trying to sabotage something that I find fun. And I tried to take Steve at the benefit of the doubt and try to work things out in a peaceful manner. Yet Steve kept on complaining to Dave about me behind my back and things like that, and trying to like squeeze me out of friendships and pin others against me in ways, but that doesn't work because I talk stuff out with people. So when I have a conflict, and I know it's a problem, I'll go and talk to them and be like, is this true? We need to talk this out if we want to still be friends. So, of course, trying to do this delicately. I thought everything was a-okay after Sunday, but then I was told Steve had told, let's say, Michael. We'll say he talked to Michael. And Michael told me that Steve told him something that I told Steve in confidence. And I asked Steve not to tell other people. And now Steve is telling a whole bunch of people. And I found out through Michael that he's doing this. So, of course, I get mad. Before I can confront Steve, Steve confronts me in a passive-aggressive way, which woke me up this morning. Yeah, that was not nice to wake up to. And me and Steve have an argument. I bring up the points without naming Michael as the one who told me, because I told Michael I would not mention his name because I know that Michael still wants to be friends with Steve, so I wasn't going to ruin their friendship.
Yeah.
And I confronted him with asking Steve who he told about my little secret that I asked him to keep secret. And he refused and denied everything that I asked him.
So Steve is causing unnecessary drama for apparently no reason.
Pretty much. And I know from other people, let's say Daryl, I'm trying to think of other fake names. Tom, Dick, and Harry. So Daryl, Tom, Dick, and Harry also told me similar information that Michael did. So I was like, okay. So I got several accounts of this person of Steve doing a thing. So I asked Steve, "Did you do the thing?" And he's like, "No, I did not do a thing." And I was like, well, I have several people saying that you did a thing. He's like, who are these people? I'm just like, I'm not ratting them out. I understand that you want to know, and I understand this looks sketchy, but come clean. Just come clean. If you did it, come clean, and we can salvage whatever friendship that we have left. And he just refused to and kept on denying. So I was like, you know what? I don't need a liar in my life. I don't need someone trying to sabotage my other friendships. I cannot be friends with you. I'm done. And I ended up deleting him and blocking him on Facebook. And that was my morning this morning. Was having an hour-long argument with this person.
I think our producers just walked off and started taking some joy pills after that.
Pardon?
I think our producers just stepped off to go take some joy pills after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's been my issue. So I'm wondering if I handled this a little bit wrong. This Steve person, previously, months ago, had pinned me, let's say, Daryl and Dixon against each other, telling me that Daryl and Dixon were planning something sneaky against me or whatever. So I went up to Daryl and Dixon right away and asked them, are you doing this thing? And they're like, hell no. I don't know where you heard this. And I was like, well, Steve told me you were doing this. And they're just like, no. So then they confronted Steve.
Oh, God.
And then Steve got mad at me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I was on thin ice with him first.
This manipulation was happening sort of in the meta. Is it like he was manipulating people outside of LARP, just actual fucking?
Yeah, this has to do with LARP. I'm sorry, I left that out of it because I didn't want to actually bring it up.
Well, yeah, it's just okay. Sorry, I'm just
no. It's the cat's out of the bag now. So basically, Steve was taking out of game information and bringing it into game. Yeah. And he was also using things in game to cause out of game drama.
So affecting people outside of it, yeah.
Yes,
so
he was
not
cheating.
Separating life from fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
basically what he did. What Steve did was he told me that Daryl and Dixon were trying to kill my character in a very elaborate way, and he told me exactly how they were going to do it. So I went up to Daryl and Dixon. I'm just like, are you trying, like, I don't care if you're trying to do this, just let me know, like, that it's not out of personal issue, out of game. And I went up to Daryl and Dixon and told them that. I'm just like, I don't care if, like, it's in game and you have a reason in game, just tell me that it's not an out of game reason. And they're like, no, we weren't even planning on doing that. Like, I don't understand. Like, and they told me the reason why, like, Steve might have gotten that idea. And I was like, okay, so Steve is just twisting this to make it sound worse than it is. And they're like, yeah. I'm just like, okay, well, you guys need to talk to him because he's, like, trying to cause conflict between us. And they did, and it was kind of like an issue, and then, like, it fucking blew past a little bit, and then, like, me and Steve didn't talk for a little while.
Yeah.
And then found out other things of how Steve tried to, like, kick me off of some of the things that I was working on and telling people secrets that he shouldn't have known that I told him, like, out of game, and he was telling people in-game shit, and, like, I had to yell at him once because he didn't know something in character, he knew it out of character.
Yeah.
And he was telling people in character, and I had to yell at him because we had a huge thing at event where we were scolded by shapers and shit like that. Anyways,
people seem to be taking LARP too seriously there.
Yeah, it was taken way too seriously. Like, it's a game first and foremost.
You're writing a story collaboratively as a group with a healthy environment, hopefully, right?
Yeah.
So taking something to that degree is terrifying, honestly, on a personal level, because you should be able to sit there and have everyone on the same plate, knowing exactly what people are doing, and then just sort of work the magic so that the story is being written in a separate fashion, right? So this guy just took it to a whole other level and started trying to manipulate people, hiding pieces, taking advantage of information, where he's Deus Exing a solution in the end, right?
Yeah.
So he's ruining the story by being an asshole.
Yeah. Like, I don't care
So-
if bad things happen in the story. That I actually like bad things happening in the story, as long as that's how it's supposed to progress. But
Yeah.
forcing something is where I'm not okay with.
Yeah. And breaking relationships outside of that is also, yeah.
Yeah. You
Like-
can have
So-
conflict in character, but still be friends outside of the game. Like,
That's what I'm talking about. Like screwing with, if you left LARP off to the side, and just like what I'm saying is that if you start trying to screw around with people in general, that makes you a terrible person. Right? It's not your responsibility, first off, to try and like. I'm sorry. I'm just having verbal diarrhea, but I'm just
No,
sort
go
of
ahead.
thinking of this. It's just like, if you look at two people and go, those two people shouldn't be together, right? Now you're playing this mental minefield game where you're trying to fuck with these two people because it entertains you. What kind of person does that?
someone that's not nice.
Like,
Yeah.
I
So-
can understand. I can understand someone getting upset if their character gets killed off, especially if it's a character that they've worked on or like spent a lot of money making a costume for. But that's just,
Sorry,
Yes.
I interrupted you a little bit.
that's okay. It's yeah.
You lost your train of thought. I'm so sorry. I typed one thing, and you lost your train of thought.
But yeah, I can understand like somebody getting upset for losing their character in game because LARP can be expensive depending on your character, especially if you're in a serious LARP group. That's like you have to have proper heavy armor and you're a
Yeah.
heavy armor character.
But that's the thing, characters die.
Yeah.
And
So-
you can always retire your character and get some of the stuff back, so it's not like you lose absolutely everything.
Yeah.
But like that's the name of the game, is like your character eventually will die. That's just
Oh, yeah.
inevitability. It's just
Exactly.
gonna happen.
That's why I'll never play a character who wears heavy armor. Because it's cheaper.
Yeah, leather is a
Well-
lot cheaper than plate.
You
But,
could definitely like put on a garbage bag and say it's a plate armor.
No, you can't.
I'm sure someone's
But,
gonna
like-
shoot you with an arrow for that.
You can try. It's just not gonna. It's not just not gonna work.
But yeah, no, Steve. If he's causing trouble trouble for like get a little grouchy that your character died if that's what happened. Sure, fine. But don't make drama. Like
Okay,
it sounds like he's doing. I'm not sure exactly
So
what
it all
caused
kind of
but-
started. This is what he explained to me was he took personal offense to my character going off and doing her own thing.
What?
Okay.
He took personal offense out of game for the fact that my character went off and did her own stuff without him.
Okay.
Huh?
That's where it all stemmed from.
Really?
That's what he told me.
Wow, I would not want to play D&D with him.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
I'm
it
kinda-
would have been fine if he just came up and talked to me about it right away. Could have hashed it out, not a problem. But he festered on it, and it became a problem.
I'm kind of glad I haven't gone to LARP with him then. Now knowing who he is, the Steve guy.
Yeah.
Because now he
Sorry. I
typed it in
both
chat. Yeah.
both me and Sarah know Steve. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's have someone else talk about their little personal issues because so that's just been what I've been dealing with right now with someone that is kind of backstabby and manipulative and lied to me and would not admit
Yeah.
it. So that's been my weekend.
Well, I just got home from a 2-hour stress management course. The first of
Really?
2 sessions. Yeah.
Stress management.
Well, actually, this is something
Wow.
I'm gonna have to quickly talk to you guys after in post show.
Okay.
But due to stress at work, I am turning down my lead position and going back to a regular crew member.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's all right.
Are you okay financially doing that?
Oh yeah, I'll be fine.
Okay, that's
'cause,
good.
my budget's fine. But but yeah, stress was getting it was to the point where I was actually crying at work.
Oh,
It was
Sarah.
You'll bring dishonor to the family.
I just want to give you a big hug now.
I know. I miss working with you at the airport because, like, every time you were there, I could just give you a hug and then
And
feel
everything
all
was better.
Exactly.
I miss you too.
We need to find a job where we can work together in an office somewhere.
Hey, the Corps hiring.
Your place?
No, not my specific location, but the Corps itself is hiring, and it pays more than the airport.
I'll look into it.
I personally prefer Nugget.
Well, my goal now, though, is I still have 4 weeks left as a senior lead.
Mm-hmm. So like a month.
Yeah, and then I go back down to a regular crew. That way, it gives my boss time to find someone to replace me and yada yada yada. But once I step down, I'll be able to focus on other things better, and then probably trying to find myself a 9-to-5 office job somewhere. That's my idea. That way, I can do all this stuff with you guys, and then still have financial support.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all that's really been with me this past weekend. Just crying at work.
Aww. Sarah.
Over the computer hugs.
Yay!
We need to organize another sushi day for us. And this time we need to make sure it's on a day that Axel can go with us.
Well,
Yeah.
I have weekends off now, so things
Okay.
kind of work better. So it's mainly probably a Sunday.
Once
Yeah,
they get more
definitely.
money.
Yeah, once Sean gets more money, we can start planning that.
We
Of
also
course.
still need to dress him up.
Yes, we
We're
need
supposed to do that
to.
this weekend, aren't we?
I've actually gone to Toronto.
Whatever. We got time.
It's okay. It'll happen.
It'll happen.
we'll- no,
Just I need more money to get.
I
like,
just thought of something. I just thought of a thing how we could do
Okay.
this.
Okay.
We're doing that we're live recording at some point for the season, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Just get him to dress up in sexy Lolita for the live recording.
Would that be better rather than going into the public? Just being around us and dressing in a Lolita for an episode?
I like that actually.
guess.
Sean, your
I
girlfriend's
guess.
sitting there going, "Yes, hell yes."
Oh my god!
Of course
and
you
I can
would.
stir
I-
tea in a nice little teacup, and you can have your pinky out, and it'll be amazing.
I might.
And
get
Maya will do
uncomfortably
your
close to
makeup.
you.
No, I'm just gonna chug like motor oil. Feel like the entire time, just like a bottle of whiskey.
That's fine. We'll have the whiskey on the table. Okay, I like this better too. It makes it actually a lot easier to organize as well.
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
also just have it at my place too. My living room doesn't have a room in it.
So
Do we want to bring drinks too and get drunk?
I won't be able to because I work, and
I don't know if it's advisable, especially after this weekend. I'm like, never
Yeah.
again.
What?
We'll talk about it. Let's talk about it after the episode. How's that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And we'll talk about logistics and everything. Back to the crazy depression train. Axel,
Yes.
let's hear. I know, Sean, you have a lot to talk about, so I'm giving you the majority of the time for last.
Oh well, I mean, I'm pretty cheerful. I'm pretty okay.
God damn it, Axel.
Well, yeah, I mean, like mine is less of just like I talked a friend out of suicide and now they don't want to associate with me ever again, and I'm like, gee, thanks
What?
for letting me know that I was the only one to reach out a hand to help, and I'm the one who gets the axe. That's
Sarah hasn't heard any of this, so if you wanted to go into a little bit more of a talk through.
Yeah.
If you're not comfortable with it, that's fine. But
yeah, it's just
No,
it's
not
just
o-
more
not over
just
the
like
podcast,
I'm
no,
just
sorry.
tired of trying to help people out, and then they just
Mhm.
fucking.
If it's who I
I'm
think
the
it
one
is,
who gets shit on for helping someone.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah, there are people in this world like that, which sucks. I don't know why I sang that word, but I did.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with like where like you tried to help someone and you got pretty much stabbed in the back. With my issue with Steve, I pretty much did the same thing because in LARP we were supposed to do like a quest of sorts, and I had personally asked the management to push it back because Steve wasn't there at the time that they were planning on doing it, and I was like, "Look, Steve really wants to do this. Can we push it back to another event so that he can be a part of it?"
Yeah.
And then I found out that Steve was trying to backstab me and push me out of the quest line and stuff like that. And this past weekend event, I insisted on everyone that was involved to still let Steve participate, even though I knew everything that was going on, like him trying to push me out, backstabbing me and stuff like that, because in-game is in-game and out of game is out of game, and I'm not going to be a hypocrite.
Oh,
So-
Steve.
Show compassion.
Yeah, because he had put in work and he wanted to do this, and I know he did. And I'm not a bad person, so I insisted on everyone else because everyone else just wanted to go without him. I was like, no, let's do this
She
the
is
right way.
Awesome person.
Let's do it the right way and have him come, and hopefully that will solve everything. And I was wrong; it didn't solve anything, but I don't regret my decision.
At least you tried.
Yeah. So like, I feel I kind of relate to you a little bit, Sean, where you tried to do your best, but still it wasn't enough.
Yeah, well, and I just feel like that's not the appropriate response for someone who just helped you out, basically stopping you from killing yourself.
Yeah, no, that's not the response at all. You think like there'd be at least a little bit of gratitude.
Yeah, like I can understand if they, just distanced themselves and were like, oh, after everything, I just need some time to think, and I'd be like, all right, take all the time you need. But then, like, I literally got a text 24 hours later, less than, and it was like, I never want you in my life ever again. And it's like, all right, cool, thanks. Like, now I don't have to ever worry about it anymore.
Yeah, people have their own ways of saying things, even if it comes off odd.
I had a friend who's no longer a friend who is kind of a similar situation. They were very suicidal. They were very down on themselves. They were they did the whole wrist cutting thing, and she was dealing with the same issues that I had to deal with a few years back that the podcast crew knows, but I'm going to leave out for personal reasons.
Okay, so I understand. Yeah. Okay.
But she was dealing with that kind of thing too, and I was trying to sort of help her and be like, okay, everything's fine, blah blah blah. But it was getting to the point where she kept asking for advice and rejecting it, asking for advice and rejecting it, asking for advice and rejecting it. And Maya and I kept trying to help her, and no matter what we did, no matter what we said, she would always reject whatever advice we gave her. And it got to the point where I was like, look, you obviously need psychiatric help. Your suicidal thoughts, you need a professional to help you. Let us help you. Let us take you to your go with you to your doctor. Mm-hmm. Make sure that you're safe. Make sure that you have someone who can provide the help you need, because obviously Maya and I can't provide that help.
You're not professionals. You can't solve her issues or their issues.
And she initially agreed. And then she came up with some excuse, and it was just, we'll do it next week. We'll schedule an appointment with your doctor. We'll come with you. She came up with some other excuse, and then just excuse after excuse after excuse got to the point where it's just like, look, we understand you're having troubles. We can't help you, and we're trying. You obviously don't want the help, because she is just craving the attention of somebody doting over her almost. What's the word? I don't remember the word. Yeah, having sympathy over her, and she craved people's sympathy, and as a result, it just was impossible to get through to her. And
there was no getting through to her. She was a fever. And
we just kind of sort of had to give up. We stopped we didn't like tell her off or anything like that. We just sort of stopped responding to her over text or anything like that because we didn't know what else we could do to try and help this person. And it kind of sounds a little terrible that we just, but
You can only help someone so much if they're constantly asking for advice and not taking it.
Yeah,
it's not your fault.
Exactly, and there's shitty people in this world and they're shitty for various different reasons, and it sucks. But that's why we're here, to try and make the world less shitty.
Or at least talk about the shitty parts and work through it. I don't know.
Yeah.
From what
Something
I
like
have worked out so far, the biggest thing is that you are ultimately in control of yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm.
Not anything else. Those classic scenarios you see in the movies where the villain has the girlfriend tied up to a chair and is all like, if you don't give me this piece of information, I will do this and it'll be your fault, right? And you look at this and going, okay, so I didn't provide the information, that makes it my fault? No, I chose not to give you the information, you chose to pull the trigger,
Mm.
right?
Well, so,
I'm not-
is it sociology or psychology? No,
Sociology.
Psychology 101 is...
Sociology, I think.
No, sociology is the study of people.
Yeah.
No, that's
Psychology is the
that's
study of how you think.
Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah. Psychology is.
So psychology, like pretty much 101, is you could only help someone who wants to help themselves.
Exactly.
You can't help someone who doesn't accept it. It's a waste of time. So
And at
you
some
have
point-
to want to be helped to seek help and to receive help.
Oh yeah.
If you don't want help, then it's pretty much a wasted adventure.
And you could be the biggest saint in the world, and you could be trying your absolute best, and you may have the biggest heart in the world, but at some point, it's you have to stop, because it's just going to take too much of yourself, and you're just going to be negatively affected by it.
Yeah.
And who's
So
number one?
We pretty much
Yourself.
did the exact same thing where you stopped contact with that person because like it just became a negative influence on you, and I did the same thing, and unfortunately Sean had to do the same thing.
Yeah. It sucks.
Well, that's our lives.
Sunshine and lollipops now, anyone?
Good news is removing negative people will maybe make our lives a little bit better with less drama.
Exactly.
I think that's the catch out of all this.
Yeah.
You can only do
might
so
have to
much to help
reconsider.
someone.
If it doesn't fix it, you might have to reconsider. It might be that you're the problem.
Yeah, if it keeps happening, you might be the problem, but yeah. Well, sometimes, you know, people make shitty decisions on making friends. That's on me.
We all do. We all do.
We all do.
Yeah.
Everyone makes shitty decisions on making friends because we all think better of people that we hope are better. Like, is that good enough?
Yeah,
was jumbled,
that's
but it was good
I mean,
Okay.
I'm definitely not off the chopping block. You know my long list of poor choices.
Yeah, we've all made poor choices. Incredible.
Way choices. Oh, I love you, Chief.
Oh, I love you too.
Alright.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to add closing notes onto this?
Well, I mean, these leather straps are starting to chafe on me. Someone cut me loose out of this chair.
In a moment.
No, I think you haven't been naughty enough. I think you need those chains on a bit longer.
Oh no.
Sean, how's that glass cube of emotion?
It's comfortable.
Okay, we'll end it there. Thank you for joining us for this emotional roller coaster that is our personal lives. That's all the time we got for today. So be sure to follow us on social media at TOONDISE on Facebook and with the hashtag ToonLounge on Twitter. And if you're a fan of this crazy train and TOONDISE, make sure to support us on Patreon at patreon.com/ToonDice. And on behalf of Axel, Sean, Sarah, and myself, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. right here on the lounge.
Remove all the shitty people.
Ignore the poltergeist.
Bye.